Welcome back to my channel, everyone. It's me, Curly K Glam, and I am here today to, I'm gonna do something new on my channel today. Okay, so y'all, recently I've gotten into two new shows. I've gotten into Blackish, and I really like that show, and I've gotten into GROWNISH, which is a spinoff of Blackish from one of the children on Blackish. And I've decided that since season 3 of GROWNISH is about to come out in the next couple of days, January the 16th, I found this newfound love for GROWNISH, and I am going to review, I'm going to give a recap of season 1 and season 2 for all my GROWNISH lovers out there that is about to come out. Now, I know that GROWNISH I see mixed reviews for GROWNISH. I see a lot of people that really love GROWNISH, and then I see a lot of people that think GROWNISH is slightly problematic. And for me, I love GROWNISH. I think it's a good show, and for the first time in a long time, I wasn't really a sitcom person. Like, I would watch a lot of sitcoms back, like, even now, currently, I watch a lot of older sitcoms, like sitcoms that have been on air, like the iconic shows like Living Single and Martin and, Jamie Foxx and the Parkers and Moesha and Sister, all those shows that are on TV now and that they're old. And so, like, for years, I had went without watching, like, a new sitcom. I didn't give especially any of the new black sitcoms a chance because I thought that they wouldn't give me that nostalgic family feeling that I needed. I think the last actual on-air sitcom that I watched was Secret Life of the American Teenager, and I was glued to the TV during the whole time that show was on air. Other than that, I was watching Ratchet TV, and by Ratchet TV, I mean Basketball Wives, Housewives, Love and Hip Hop, Growing Up Hip Hop, all the reality TV shows, Keeping Up with Kardashians for a little while because I just can't even stand them now. And I was just watching a whole bunch of just like reality TV because at one point I don't even think sitcoms were even on TV like that anymore, like scripted sitcoms. And so I've grown to find a new fondness for Blackish and GROWNISH, so I will be reviewing GROWNISH. I don't know how I'm going to put this out, but I do have some notes that I've taken. I'm not going to give I'm not going to give an episode by episode breakdown, but I am going to go episode by episode and give like a recap. So season 1 had 13 episodes, beginning with the pilot. The show is based on a girl. Her name is Zoey Johnson, and she is the daughter of Dre and Rainbow Johnson, who are the parents on Blackish. And of course, on Blackish, Blackish, they have 5 children. Zoey being the oldest, and then Andre Jr., and then the twins, Jack and Diane, and then the baby, Devontae. So to me, I would say, I can't really give a comparison, but to me, in my opinion, now people may disagree, I think Blackish and GROWNISH are like the modern day version of The Cosby Show in a Different World. For everyone who didn't know out there, The Different World is a spinoff of The Cosby Show. It initially started out with Denise Huxtable, which was the daughter of Dr. Huxtable and Claire Huxtable, and then she went to college. And that's exactly like what it seems like. I'm not saying that the shows are completely identical to The Cosby Show and A Different World, but they kind of give me that modern day version. As you know, on Blackish, Andre Johnson, he works for an advertising company, and Rainbow is an anesthesiologist. And of course, on Cosby Show, Dr. Huxtable was an OBGYN. He was an obstetrician, gynecologist, and then Claire, the mom, was a lawyer. So it's giving you professional black family this is just a little background for the people who want to know about the spinoffs. I've watched both on Hulu, all the seasons on Hulu. There are 6 seasons in Blackish, and there were 2 seasons in Grownish. Blackish is currently in its 6th season, and for right now, like I said, Grownish 3rd season has not come out yet. So I've binge watched all the seasons of Blackish and all the seasons of Grownish, and without watching Blackish, I don't think you would, have the background you need to watch Grownish. But I'm going to start off by introducing the characters. So on the show is based around the life of Zoey Johnson. She is starting her freshman year at Cal U. She is a black female. She goes to a PWI, and she has characters on the show: Luca, Aaron, Nomi, Anna, Vivek, and Doug, and then the twins Sky and Jazz. And so in the first episode of Grownish, just to give you a little backstory, it's called Late Registration. That's the title of the first episode. And on the first episode, the first episode basically highlights like each person's life, except for Doug, because Doug didn't come in until a few episodes later. Nomi is a white Jewish female. She is bi, and I think she's from somewhere in New England, the New England states. She's Jewish, and she's a freshman at Cal U. Anna, who Zoey met, she is a Cuban American female. She's from Miami, and she's at Cal U studying poli-sci. I don't really know what Nomi is studying. Aaron is a black male. He is older. He's the oldest person out of the cast. Technically, he is a sophomore at the time when all of these people are freshmen. Vivek is Indian, and they don't never say where Vivek is from. He might be from New York, but he's a 2nd generation Indian. He has immigrant parents, and he's at Cal U studying computer technology, I think. And Sky and Jazz are the twins. They're fraternal twins. As you know, those two are Chloe and Halle. They're not twins in real life, but they do play twins on the show. And I think they're cute. I like their characters. They are your Division I athletes. They both run track for Cal U. And I said Nomi, Vivek, Aaron, Luca. Luca is a black male on the show, and he is a fashion major, and they don't really say where Luca comes from. They don't really give that much of a background. But all of them meet in a midnight class. So at Cal U, they have this midnight class. And if you know Charles from Blackish, he worked with Andre at the advertising firm. He's teaching a marketing class at midnight. And so they all meet in this class, and then they all basically come together and have a meeting of the minds, and simply they just bond on, when you get to school. I don't know. This happened to me when I went to school. When I first went to college, I had, an adjustment period. You definitely go through an adjustment phase between high school and college. And they were all telling their stories, their backgrounds, where they're from. And Nomi hadn't come out to her parents. Anna wasn't in the class. Anna was not in the class. Zoey met Anna when she first got to school. Anna was the first person Zoey met, and Anna ended up going to a college party, and Anna got so drunk that she embarrassed Zoey, and so Zoey never talked to her again until, episode 2, when she becomes Zoey's roommate, and neither one of them know that they're going to be each other's roommate. The twins are from South Central LA, and they're on a track scholarship, of course. Aaron, he is, like I said, he's a sophomore, and he's there. I don't know what Aaron is studying, but he's very, he's not Afrocentric, but he's like woke. He's like into all the causes for black people. And then Vivek says he's trying to better his life because his father is a cab driver, and he has some resentments against his father because he felt like his father left his native land to come to America to have a better life, but he didn't really take advantage of his opportunities. So Vivek is at Cal doing that. Vivek also, later on, we're going to see that Vivek sells prescription drugs at the school, which that's the only part I hate about Blackish, is that they had a main cast member that sold drugs, and I just don't think that was a good look. I just don't think that was a good look. And Luca, of course, is there because he's into fashion design. And so Zoey then, they have this meeting of the minds. Zoey then opens up and says she's done a horrible thing, which is that she left Anna drunk at the party and she had nobody there to help her and she was humiliated. And so they all told this story of how they ended up in this one class because they all waited to the last minute to register for a class they need. So they ended up taking this class. Okay, so episode 2 is called Be Don't Kill My Vibe. And basically, Zoe's roommate moves out because she finds a single and she decides to take that single. And then Anna moves in, but she doesn't know that it's Anna at first. And of course, there's tension between Anna and Zoey. Anna is very mad that Zoey left her at the party and that she was humiliated. And she feels like she doesn't have anybody because she's a loner pretty much at this point. And Zoey has already made friends at Cal U because she knew some people from her high school that went there. And in this episode, basically, Zoey is struggling between her school life and her social life balance, which is something that all kids in college go through. Because when you first get to college from high school, it's a completely different experience. It's a lot of new people, a lot of new things, and a lot of people, if you're not focused, they get, sidetracked and get sideswept into different things. I think this is just going to be a synopsis of the first 5 episodes, and then I'm going to break it down into parts. So this video will have multiple videos following because I don't want to make the video too long. But I do want to discuss some of the topics because I really thought that they were relative to stuff today, especially Black people who attend PWIs. Because as a Black person who attended 2 PWIs, I really related with Zoey versus somebody who went to an HBCU, if that makes sense. Basically, Zoey is having trouble studying and keeping focus. So Vivek, of course, ends up giving her Adderall, which I don't like because when you go to school, you hear about all these different things and people get caught up. And then college is how legit some people become addicts. Let's see. He gives her Adderall, so then she stays up all night trying to do her work, but then, she spirals off. And so then at the end of the episode, basically, her and Anna have a heart-to-heart, and Zoey apologizes for the shystiness she did to Anna. Number 3, if you're reading this, it's too late. This is one of my favorite episodes of season 1. I had 2 favorite episodes of season 1, and this was the number 1. I just thought that it was funny because Zoey has this huge crush on Aaron. She's always had this crush on Aaron. And if you watch Blackish in season 1, when Zoey was scouting Cal U, Aaron actually made an appearance in either season 4. Which season did Zoey go to school? It was either season 5, I think Junior went to school. So I think Aaron made his first appearance around season 4 when Zoey was about to leave. And she has this big crush on Aaron. And basically, she struggles whether or not she should give Aaron the attention because it seems like Aaron only texts her at night. And this is something that I personally went through when I was in college. Because not that I was entertaining boys, because I was not, because I just knew I did not want to be anybody's bait in college. So for the majority of the time in college, I did not date anybody because I just knew that men were trash at that point. And I was just like, I'm not about to be anybody's trick. And so when a guy tries to court you, you have to, as females, learn the signs and learn who you should stay away from. And in GROWNISH, Aaron will always text Zoey at night after a party and will ask her, is she up? And so she basically had to decide whether she was going to entertain Aaron or not. And so basically her friends knew that she had this big old crush on Aaron. And so some of her friends, you know, said, hey girl, go do it. He really likes you. Go, you know, hang out with him. And then some of the girls was like, no girl, it's too late. You're going to come off looking like a hoe. And you never know, like these hours suggest other things. And so she ended up not texting him back, of course. And so then the next day in class, he leaves class with a girl and she's jealous. So then after that, I think Luca texts her and asks was she up, and she ends up going out with Luca. And this is the first time her and Luca have an on-screen romance. They like actually kiss at a concert, or they went to some kind of concert, and then basically Zoey is going back and forth in between Aaron because now she has feelings for both Aaron and Luca. And so she gets basically she gets caught talking to both of them on FaceTime. Like she's calling Aaron and talking to Aaron on FaceTime, but then Luca's calling her on Skype, and then they both see each other because her silly self ends up answering the phone. And so they see each other. And so both of them are just off Zoey at this point. And so at the end of that episode, because Zoey is so, like, I guess defeated that she don't know who she want, she ends up meeting Cash Mooney. And Cash Mooney is the basketball star at Cal U. He was the highly recruited high school recruit basketball star. And so going into episode 4, Starboy, Dean Parker knows that Dean Parker is the dean of Cal U, dean of students, and he knows that Cash is a star player. And so he's a top recruit, and basically Dean Parker personally asked Zoey to tutor and to help, you know, Cash find his classes and stuff. And so at first Zoey is hesitant because she thinks Cash is the typical jock who tries to get over, and you know how athletes do. You go to these big white schools, and then they got these top recruits, and they come to school basically thinking that they ain't gonna do no work, and that people are gonna do work for them because they're the star, and they think everything is supposed to fall in line. And that's basically what happened. Dean Parker basically set Cash up. And so Zoey was trying to help him, you know, in class because he was failing the class. But then Cash was having a hard time balancing sports and schoolwork. And so Zoey was trying to help him have time management. And I think that Cash requested Zoey to Dean Parker on purpose because Cash saw Zoey and he thought she was cute. So that's basically it. And so then I think in exchange for her tutoring Cash, Dean Parker said that he would write her a recommendation to Teen Vogue. And if you watch Blackish, in the beginning season, Zoey had an internship in high school and she interned at Teen Vogue. And so now in college, she is going back to intern at Teen Vogue because her dream job is to be, I don't know if she wants to be the editor of Teen Vogue or she wants to be the head of the fashion department at Teen Vogue, but it is her dream to work at Teen Vogue. And so she's basically trying to pave her path into the fashion industry because she wants to be a designer. So she thought. And then for the final episode for this video is Cash Rules Everything Around Me, Cream. So Zoey basically at this point is hanging out with Cash on a regular basis. One thing I didn't like that the GROWNISH writers did was that they didn't really give you a time frame of the whole school year, because season 1 basically deals with freshman year at Cal U, but they don't really give you a span of time. So we know that it's sometime around basketball season, which means it's winter sports time and Cash is playing basketball. And so at first Cash wasn't doing good in basketball, but now at this point he's doing great. He isn't having any issues. He's actually scoring and he's bringing the team some success. So Cash, it's really not mentioned or understood that if Cash and Zoey are official. And that part I didn't like because for somebody who's trying to get into the show, it's not really clear. So then on this episode, I'm assuming that they're dating at this point. And Cash's father is trying to not embezzle. What's the word? Cash's father is trying to exploit him for money. Since Cash was a top high school recruit, his father tries to sell all of his high school stuff and his trophies and stuff online for money. So basically, Cash gets a check from, I guess, some alumni, because you know how that goes in the sports arena, like the money laundering and all this stuff. Cash gets some money from an alumni to basically go home and pay his dad the money so that his dad doesn't sell his stuff. And so at this point, I skipped over a part. The important part that I skipped over was that everybody knew that Zoey and Cash were hanging out. And so basically, I think somebody called Zoey out her name online, and Cash defended her and said that she was a virgin. And for some reason, Zoey was embarrassed by that. And I don't know how other people feel, but I didn't think there was anything wrong with him saying that she's not that particular way. She's a virgin, so she can't be that way. And Zoey found offense to it, so she stopped talking to Cash. So in between the time that Cash's father is trying to exploit him for money, Zoey's not talking to him. So it's not until Zoey gets to Design Lab with Luca, where Luca basically informs her that Cash's dad is exploiting for money and that Cash is going through a lot. Zoey then tries to reach out to Cash, and she ends up finding Cash in the parking deck at the school. Cash is about to leave. And so she was just basically like, Cash, you're not leaving without me. And so the whole way to Cash's family's house, they're not speaking in the car. She's giving him the silent treatment. And then he basically breaks the silence and tells Zoey why he basically picked her as his tutor or to be around her or whatever. And he tells Zoey that basically she has a good girl image and that she's good for his image. And Zoey takes high offense to that, which any girl would at that point. And because with her being such a simple girl, her being with Cash or hanging around Cash all the time brought all types of attention, both positive and negative attention to herself. And so on campus, everybody knew her as Cash's girl. And basically, Cash was just like, be honest, you wouldn't have even given me the time of day if I wasn't Cash Mooney. Like if I was a regular guy, you wouldn't have gave me the time of day. So she admitted to that. And so then after Cash sees his father, Cash is really emotional because he just couldn't believe that his father would treat him like that. And so Zoey kind of consoles him and lets him know that it's going to be okay. And I think that during that moment, that's when Cash and Zoey really fall for each other because of the things that, you know, just happened. And in the episode, Zoey's friends are mad at her because they feel like she spends a lot of time with Cash, which she does. And she was just like, you don't really know Cash like that. You don't know things he's going through, so you can't really speak on him. And so from then on, Zoey's in love with Cash. And that's going to wrap up my recap of episodes 1 through 5 for season 1 of GROWNISH. I will be back with the remaining episodes. Deuces.